These are our web stats from January 1st until June 27th, which is yesterday. I've been able to break out into segments the traffic based on whether it's on campus or off campus. So the blue line you see here, that is the total. The orange line, which has this classic pattern, that is our on-campus traffic, and the green, stable, fairly stable line across the bottom there is the off-campus traffic. So you can see that clear academic year, academic week, and the holidays are really, really obvious from our on-campus traffic and much less obvious from off-campus. But you can see there is a slight, well, though it's probably not really that slight, but there's a rise in the traffic through the bulk of the term, the winter term, and then it tapers off somewhat when we get to the summer term here. I'll show you now the same thing from the last month. This is May 28th until June 27th, and you can see that on our slowest days, all that traffic pretty much is coming from off campus, and that's a fairly consistent pattern. So this gives you a bit of a look into the activity of a student when they're on campus and off campus, so they don't really leave us when they go home. They still log in from home as well. So I just want to give you a look into content as used by students on campus versus off campus. So you can see here all of the visits, and right now in this month they're fairly close. So our on campus being 27,000 roughly and off campus being 18,000 roughly. These numbers are always rough, and they may easily be, we may be double that number in reality, but this is what we're able to see, so don't take the numbers too seriously, but the comparison is quite useful. The one I wanted to highlight is hours. So 500 visitors in the last month looking at the hours from on campus, but 2,200 off campus. So hours are something that's interesting to someone who's not on campus far more than when they are on campus. I guess then they can just ask or they can look, but off campus that's what that page is for, which is sort of interesting. The laptop thefts banner, clicking through on that, so 500 on campus and 1,200 off campus. So I wonder if that's because it's information no one's actually looking for. It's a sort of something where it's an announcement, and that gets clicked on by people perhaps who aren't immediately trying to accomplish a specific thing, where there's less pressure, so they're able to dig in and look at that on sort of their own time. But the numbers there are really quite good, so that has been pretty effective. Study room booking, not a surprise that the highest number, 860, are on campus, but 607 are off campus. So that's a fairly even split in terms of booking a study room. So our students are actually fairly organized and doing this kind of work at home. Node 877 is past exams, and that predominantly off campus, 338 versus 89, and this is this past month, so that's a specific sample there. But so past exams is something that happens, that kind of work is happening when students are at home much more than when they're here. And the same is true for the Cite Your Sources, so students are working on their papers at home, 276 off campus, 138 on. And that's, you see that model happening here is research, 162 on campus, 240 off campus. So a lot of that deep work is happening at home. If you're curious about a page or content you'd like to see the breakout, just drop me an email and I'll let you know.